Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is another episode of the Virtuoso Podcast, and for this one, I'm really about to unpack some stuff with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really about to be vulnerable, as they like to say. You get me? And it's like my second take too. You know, like I was making it, like I was making this video, and it was like I wasn't really trying to express some things, and my phone was like, oh, it's getting too hot, and it shut off. So I just took that as a sign, like, yeah, you're not really being on track. You're not really, you're not trying to express it. And I get it. Like, it's not easy to express these things. It's tough, but like I want to do this because when I was like trying to figure some stuff out, and I was like in the lower frame of like being, like I would have loved to see, like, damn, some other people went through this, or damn, how did they overcome this, or whatever the case may be. And like, you don't really see it as much, so like it helps. And that's kind of like the same approach I took with like my journey of making it to become a professional basketball player from like a Division III college, and never played in high school. Like, I wanted to share my journey. I wanted to share my story so people can know that like it's possible. You feel me? But yeah, like this episode, I really wanted to speak on like inner healing and like inner growth. You feel what I'm saying? Because without that, you don't make it anywhere. You stay stagnant. And something that really like reached out to me and touched me was, I was watching this Netflix special about this NBA player named Gilbert Arenas, and he had a situation where he brought guns to the locker room, or whatever the case may be, got into it with a teammate, and that pretty much changed the trajectory of his career and his teammates. And there was a part in there where he was speaking on why he played so much, and like he was pretty much saying, because he went through so much growing up as a kid, a lot of stress, sometimes being homeless. His mom left him at a young age, so it's him and his dad. And a lot of people say, you want to try to keep laughing, to not cry. And like when I was watching it, and I resonated with it immediately, because like that was something that I was always known for growing up, was, man, you play too much. And sometimes it'd be good, like, oh, I like being around Mike because I know I'm a laugh, or whatever the case may be. Like, but then there was other times, like, I'm always playing, that it would become too much sometimes, you feel me? And really, I was only doing that because I was trying to block out the pain. I was trying to block out what I was going through, and I felt like this was the way to keep people around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of course people gonna want to be around you if they enjoying themselves, they feel entertained, and that all stems from what? The feeling of being abandoned. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you might classify things as abandonment that's not even abandonment. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you done went through so much, you don't know. Like you just have an emptiness in you. And when I started to look at it, I'm like, damn, there were a lot of situations where you felt abandoned growing up, you know what I'm saying? And with that feeling, I grew up with that same ideology, like, damn, what can I do to make this person stay? Or what can I deal with to like stay in a situation? Like, a lot of times I wouldn't even move out of scenarios, or like put myself in a better situation mentally and spiritually, because I didn't want to lose someone. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like that's a part of life. Like, everybody's constantly changing, evolving, and you don't want to hold on too long. You get what I'm saying? But I was stuck in that. Like, I hated that feeling, and it was like to the point where I started to ignore it, but it was still happening. A lot of times didn't even have a say-so in it either, you know what I'm saying? And most people don't understand like the effects that can do to somebody. And within saying all of this, like, I don't have any ill like spirit, ill will towards, you know, any of my friends or family members, past relationships where this has occurred, because it all built me up to the person I am today. But like, just really looking back at it, you know, it probably all started, you know, everybody, not gonna say everybody, but most people, you know, parents, you know, they don't work out and there's a separation there. So you feel an abandonment issue there, you know, like, especially where it's like they're together in the beginning of your life and that's all you know. And then it's just like you get to an age and it's no longer the case. You know, that hurts. Then you have scenarios down the line, like, you know, I have brothers and sisters, you know, and it wasn't like it was anything super bad, you know. You got people that they're growing up, you know, my two sisters are older than me, so you have, they're growing into their lives, they gotta live. You got one, she's in her own place, you know, it's time to, you know, be a woman. Then you have another going to high school. You get what I'm saying? The high school that she was going to was closer to where her father stayed, so it just made more sense to be there. So it was like, nice, alright, but it was never like, yo, let's have a family dinner, let's you know, connect and like properly say bye, but like not goodbye, but like, you know, this person, she's gonna be here now, or whatever, this was gonna happen. It was just like things were just happening, and like I would just come home, because like, I would go visit my dad on the weekends, and like a lot of times I would just come home Sunday night or whatever, and shit was different. Like another person is gone, and it was never, let me pull you to the side and talk to you about this, or let me have a conversation with you. And like I said, I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to put blame anywhere, but it was like it took for me to really look in the mirror and like really do some deep soul searching to see like how much those things affected me, you know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I started to hang out outside more, you know, I started to make friends in the neighborhood and become more attached to these friends. And it wasn't even that all of them were really super great guys or real cool. It was just that like I just wanted to feel something, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to feel needed. I wanted to feel like, I don't know, like for real. Like I just, like it's like, don't get me wrong, like some of these guys I still talk to this day, and like we're really close. It's almost like I created like a family outside of my family, you know what I'm saying? But like a lot of other guys, it was just like I would try to like commit too much, you know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people, like we say fake friends this, fake friends that, but a lot of times people not fake. It's like you had an expectation of something that wasn't true, and you just had to find out the hard way. You get what I'm saying? But you know, fast forward to, you know, a few years down the line, you know, my mom starts to get more, you know, she starts to get sick and everything. And at the time, you know, it's just me and my little brother. So, you know, I'm taking him to school. He goes to school with me or whatever. I'm helping out a little bit. But now it's time for me to go to high school. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, my little brother would, you know, sometimes visit my aunt. And I wouldn't go all the time. I would probably go to my dad's house, or I would stay home and like hang out with my friends. You get what I'm saying? And it was one weekend where like he just never came back, my little brother. And you know, I was thinking like, oh damn, all right, he probably, you know, they probably want to stay a little longer. Cool. And he didn't come back. And I'm like, damn. But you know me, like I was always like, I got to a point where like I didn't ask a lot of questions. Like I was just like peep stuff and just kind of remain silent and just go. But like, you know, I would always be thinking, you know, the whole time. And then I forget, but it was just one day like I think my mom told me like, yeah, no, he just gonna stay with her, you know, because my aunt just had a son as well, and you know, it was like, oh, he can, you know, pretty much be like a big brother figure to him, and you know, great neighborhood, whatever the case may be. And at the time, I was cool with it because I'm like, I bet I ain't gotta watch him no more. I ain't gotta worry about him. You feel me? Now it's just me. Cool. You feel me? Like that was like it was kind of like a burden, like not a burden, but like it was a weight off my shoulders because I'm just a young kid. I'm 13. You know, you feel me? Like, so I'm like, all right, cool, and I know it's gonna be safer out there. So cool, but deep down, I was like, damn, that's another person gone. You feel me? Fast forward, you feel what I'm saying? My dad was moving to Texas, and he wanted to take us with him. I don't know bullshit, but just like, you know, I want my boys with me. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, I really wanted to go. I'm like, shit, I want to go. Like I'm tired of Chicago. I want to, you know. And then I had never lived with my dad before. Like, yes, I would visit him every weekend, but like I never lived with him. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, yes, I really want to do this. And you know, like my mom was like, no, you get what I'm saying? And in that moment, I was upset. But like, as I got older, I understood her reason and why. And I am glad she said no. You know what I'm saying? But like you know, as a kid, you don't understand certain things. So like, I was upset with her, very upset with her. And you know, when my pops left, that's another form of feeling abandoned all over again. Even though there was never any like ill spirited, like, oh, I'm about to go out for some milk. Never, like, it was no situations like that. It was always life circumstances. You get what I'm saying? And it was like, sometimes it was just for the betterment, you know, but like the way my mind was, for some reason I couldn't register it that way. I was always like thinking of it in a way of like, you know, you being left again. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody leaves. Like you're not good enough for people to stay. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like deep down, like that shit was hurting. You know what I'm saying? And I would just keep pouring into other people, like trying to fully exert myself in situations, like to the point where I'm a young kid, 14, 15, you know, I'm hanging out with friends and I'm low-key trying to stick around as long as I can, to the point where they be like, she just wanted to spend a night, bro, or you feel me? Parents like, hey, you want something to eat, whatever the case may be, like, because I don't want to go home and be alone, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just me, you know what I'm saying? And in those moments, I really wasn't understanding what I was doing. Like, deep down, I knew what I was doing. But surface level, I just thought I was being a teenager. I just thought, oh, I just want to hang out. I just want to, you know, play the game and joke around and watch TV. But deep down, I didn't want to be by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like these are people that I grew up with, people that I love dearly. And, you know, each time they're just leaving, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not really knowing how to cope with that, you feel me? And you know, that started to kind of spiral into how I became so, like, in a sense, dependent on things and attached to outcomes. And then, you know, I feel like the worst scenario of them all, and this one wasn't even abandonment, like, but it felt like it. And I would say that was my sophomore year of college, and it was when my mom passed away. You get what I'm saying? And it's like I was said earlier in the video, you know, she was sick and everything. And like, you know, she didn't tell us a lot of details. You know, she never wanted to worry us. So I knew things were serious. A lot of other people didn't, because I lived with her every day. So it was like I saw a lot of things, but like at the same time, like, this is my mom, so I'm not thinking I'm gonna lose her. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't start thinking that was maybe something that could happen until I got into college, you feel me? But anyway, you know, when she passed away, it was just like everything that I done went through growing up, like up until that point, it was just like damn, this just your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you just meant to be alone. You just meant to be by yourself. Like, this is what I'm telling myself. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is my mom, you know, somebody that I saw every day of my life, someone that I lived with all my life, you know what I'm saying? You know, and it was like the worst form of having somebody leave, because it wasn't like, okay, this person left but I can call them, or this person left but I can visit them. Like, this was final. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's it, you know? And yeah, that one really hurt. You know, that one rocked hard, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, it validated feelings that I already had. Negative feelings, of course, like about being left, about being abandoned. And it was like, she didn't abandon you, she didn't leave you. Like, it was her time, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, damn, I wasn't ready for that, you know? Now it's just me. Now I had to take this house over. Now it's my house. And I'm in college playing basketball, and you feel me? It's just so much, but it's like I have to take on all these, like, I have no choice but to be by myself now. And then what comes with that, you know, I tried to come to terms with being by myself, and then, you know, things happen, and you get people that like you, care about you, and, you know, they wanna be a part of your journey. Speaking as in relationships. And at first I was hesitant, you know, but I grew into the idea of it. But like, deep down, I didn't want to, because I have that mindset, everybody leaves. So it's good for now, but how long it's gonna last? You know what I'm saying? So with that mindset, you do a lot of negative things. You become a negative person because you're trying so hard to just see, how serious is this person? How long are you really gonna stay? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just waiting on the I can't, you feel me? And it's like, you really self-sabotaging, because you trying to put yourself in, like, you trying to prove yourself right, you know, like you trying to validate all the negative thoughts, the negative feelings you experienced as a little kid. You get what I'm saying? And maybe that wasn't even the case. Maybe this person wasn't gonna leave, or maybe they were, but it was meant for you to enjoy that time. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, that would mess up a lot of situations in my life, friendships, relationships, because, like, I would always kind of come at it from a standpoint of, well, shit, you gonna leave anyway, so I'm gonna be however I want to be towards you. If you piss me off, I'm gonna go there with you. If I feel away, I'm gonna not be the best friend or the best boyfriend towards you. You get what I'm saying? Because deep down, I'm like, well, shit, you gonna leave anyway. Let me give you a reason to leave. That way I feel comfortable with the situation. Like, I felt like if I know I did something wrong, I could cope with the fact that you left better, you know? And, you know, it wasn't until recently where I really, like, unpacked all that and started to see, like, why you hang on? Why do you disrespect yourself to hold on to people that don't want to be around you, that don't want to be with you, that like have lives of their own? Like, you almost want to hold people back from doing what's best for them. You get what I'm saying? And I thought about everything I just shared with y'all. And of course, like, you know, this, if I went into extreme detail about everything, this video would probably be 3 hours long. But like, that's pretty much the main idea, like the synopsis of like all the scenarios I felt like in my life where, you know, it made that abandonment wound expand within me. You know what I'm saying? But as I look at it now, it was for the betterment of each individual. For my sisters, it helped them grow into women. It helped them learn a lot. For my little brother, it put him in a safe neighborhood. It allowed him to expand his horizon, be around diversity, grow in the church. You know, with my dad, it allowed him to, you know, expand his mind, expand his drive to, you know, really push towards his goals and dreams so that he could, you know, be the best dad for us, like leading by example. You get what I'm saying? And with my mom, she beat the odds at a young age. You know, like she told me there was a time they told her she wouldn't make it to like 6 or something. You know what I'm saying? And yes, she passed in her 40s, which is still young, but like when you look back at that, like you already beat the odds. So your life was destined for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like you were destined to do the things you did. We are all blessings. That's how I look at it. But for her, she did a great job in raising us. And once her job was complete, she no longer had to endure that pain. You know what I'm saying? She was able to grow out of it and expand and evolve into eternal life. You get what I'm saying? So when you look back at it, all those things, how can you feel abandoned when everything became so beautiful for those and it wasn't anything negative? You get what I'm saying? So as I really started to unpack those things, I didn't feel like I was being left anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like people have to grow, people have to learn, people have to evolve. Even when there's negative situations, like, you know, I've lost girlfriends, I've lost friends. And part of it was because of me, you know, large parts. You get what I'm saying? But even those were good, because who am I to stop you from evolving? Rather you don't evolve or not, but you will never know because you're stuck somewhere. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I no longer felt that way, and I no longer hold on to situations or people. Like, you know, I'm great with or without anyone. You know what I'm saying? Because most times more people will come, more situations will come. I've met so many people over the years. I'm going to keep meeting people. I'm going to continue to meet people that are meant to be in my life. So, you know, you don't want to stay stagnant and shortchange yourself from experiencing the most beautiful things that life has to offer. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I had to really dig deep, and, you know, that shit was hard. That shit hurt. Like, just asking myself these questions. And like I wasn't in therapy, you know, I didn't go to therapy. Like I was like the universe, God, myself, that was my therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like without that, I probably wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be able to speak the way I'm speaking now to y'all, so y'all can understand this. But like, that was, I feel like, the core of all my stress. That was the core of all, like, I don't want to call it depression, but like, you know, a lot of sadness I had deep down, you know. And now, like, I'm still somewhat like that. Like, I play, but like, I don't play as much as I used to, because I don't feel like I have to. I can just be me, you know. I can just be myself. Like, you notice on these videos, I'm more serious, like, not in a bad way, but like, this is just who I am. I don't feel like I have to sell you on me to keep you around anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or be someone that I'm not to keep anyone around. I've gotten to a point, I let people be free. I let people make the decisions they want to make, whether that's something that I would like for them to do or not. Because them doing that, I do like that is good for me to know that you're doing what you feel is best for you. I want to do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So I implore a lot of, people to really open up to yourself. A lot of people don't want to, a lot of people say, I don't want to open up to nobody. And that's fine. But a lot of you guys don't even open up to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to hear those things. You don't want to figure out why you act the way you act, why you can be mean sometimes. Like, I didn't want to really figure out damn, why you act like that? Like, why you spaz on that person like that? You care about them. You don't want them to leave, or you love them being around. Why you turn up like that? Or why you I never wanted to take accountability and be like, this is why you acting like that, and that's not right. You wrong. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want to do none of that. That's why I feel like validating feelings is not the best thing to do. Because yes, I felt emotions, I felt ways, but for someone to validate that, what good is that doing? Because I have a deeper issue in the inside that's causing me to act in ways that are not beneficial for my relationships with people that I care about. Why would you want to validate that? And that's where I drew the line. I'm no, I don't want to find a reason on why it's okay for me to act like that. No, I want to stop doing that shit. I don't even want that to be a thought. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I've done these last few months. You get what I'm saying? And man, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I could even see it on me. I look at videos and pictures of me months ago, years ago. My skin was different. The shape of my face was different. It was more puffy. I was just not myself. You know what I'm saying? And it was now man, it's beautiful. I just feel so much growth. I'm at peace with everything, and I'm not holding on to anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm flowing. I'm in love with myself. I'm in love with life. Being able to watch nature, that shit keeps me going. I don't gotta prove nothing. I'm authentically me. I don't have to be oh, I need to try to act more tough or act I don't care or whatever. No, I'm gonna be me. Give a fuck what you think about it. If you don't like it, get the fuck on. Period. You feel what I'm saying? So it's that's the highest vibration you can be operating on. Love is right underneath it. I'm a loving spirit, a loving person, and I spread so much love. But to be able to be authentically you and not give a damn what anybody else feels about it, that's the highest vibration. That's the highest energy you can permit into the world. I'm me, unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? And within me being myself, I wanted to let go of things that wasn't me. And that negative shit, that crashing out and not being available in situations, that wasn't me. That was me trying to protect myself from things that I felt deep down that I needed to unpack. You get me? But yeah, I feel like this is one of the longest videos I ever made, But it was worth it. Like I said, I really wanted to open up, and this video is gonna touch those that it needs to touch. For the ones that need to hear this, they will hear it, they will understand it, and know that it's light at the end of the tunnel. But only you can make it there. No one else can take you there. Not a friend, not a lover, maybe a therapist, but a therapist shouldn't take you there. It's just a therapist is just kind of opening your mind so you can start to ask yourself the questions, and you do the the deeper digging for yourself, because only you can take the steps to make it to the end of the tunnel. But yeah, if y'all made it this far, man, I just want to say I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You get what I'm saying? Like, look within and don't be scared to take accountability. You know, like, I know it hurts in the beginning. You know, it feels tough. It's that ego. It's your pride talking to you. Kill that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know that I said in the past, like, ego's not all bad, but we don't know how to control our ego. That's what makes it bad. Control your ego. Who cares? Who cares if you're wrong? It's okay to be wrong sometimes. Make a mistake. It's not the end of the world. I could have fucked up yesterday. The world didn't end. Life still kept going on. I could have did something super bad yesterday, and it was the worst day of my life. And the person across the street from me could have just got the promotion they've been wanting for 5 years. And that was the best day of their life. Life just keeps going on. So don't put too much stress on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand what it is and understand there was a purpose to it. And let it go, but be accountable. You do fuck up too. And it's okay. You can only do right if you understand that. And once you understand that, you'll start to make the conscious decisions to do the right thing more, what you deem right, because there's no such thing as right and wrong for real. It's what you decide is right and wrong, because this is your reality. So once you decide, I want to do these things because they feel right and they make me feel at peace and they give me the most excitement, those are the things that you continue to do. You get what I'm saying? So look within, be accountable, and heal. Comfort yourself, and just watch how much peace you have. Watch how much joy you have. Watch how, like, you just start to attract everything in your life. Everything you ever want is just gonna come beautifully too. But man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay tuned. You know, I'm always thinking of ideas, thinking of things that I feel like can help people. So, you know, it's definitely gonna be more content dropping. And your boy Gap almost closed. My bad. That should be getting irritating, but a few more weeks and no more Gap. But appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We up out of here.